this past weekend, the Saturday game against Florida Gulf Coast, the energy that they started off with, the way you guys responded, and frankly, the atmosphere at the Liberty Arena, that kind of electric vibe, did that kind of give you guys a taste of what this place can be like come March?
We've had a taste of what Liberty Arena can be like, and certainly we're reminded of that on Saturday. Our fans were tremendous. Students were loud, they were vocal, they were into it. Actually heard a couple of funny things they said. So yeah, I think a home court advantage is it's built in just because you sleep in your own bed, you're shooting on the same court you practice on for the majority of the time. But man, when the energy is like it was on Saturday night, yes, I think it's a distinct advantage.
How much does that combine and maybe give you guys a lift, especially when you're in this kind of grind portion of the ASUN schedule?
Yeah, I think it helps a ton. I don't think it ensures victory. We had a great crowd against Bellarmine in the semifinal last year and didn't get the desired outcome. So, but I think in the arena, Missouri, I think the Missouri game was electric. There's been a few games like that, so really excited about the fact that I think there will be a couple more sellouts in the last couple, 3 home games.
You turned at one point and gave the crowd a little.
I did.
Can you only do that once a game? Can you go to that multiple times? What's your kind of theory on that?
No theory. Sometimes I think when you've had a little bit of success and we've been winning by a couple of points more than usual, I think you can kind of watch and just wait for us to go on a run. And I felt like, one of the things that I remember at JPJ, like those fans were and still are completely invested in the defensive end. So when that shot clock goes down, the fans rise to their feet, and the opponent really struggles late clock. And I was hoping that given the way we were playing and we had a little momentum, I was hoping that we'd get it bumping in there a little bit more.
Coach, bear with me on this next question here a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Hank Aaron, when he went to break the home run record, he was in Cincinnati with the Braves. They were on the road. He ties the record there. They sit him down, trying to ensure that he breaks the record at home. The commissioner tells him, you can't do that. You got to play him. Works out. He ends up breaking the record at home. Darius McGee's closing in on that all-time scoring record here. Try to, he gets close, maybe hold him back a little bit.
No.
That record.
No. How many points does he need?
27.
Hope he gets 27 on Thursday. Yeah, I don't think it matters to him. Carl Hess has had that record for a long time, and deservedly so from what I hear. But wherever Darius breaks the record, I think he will long be remembered in Flames basketball history, and deservedly so.
So if on the off chance he gets a wide open three, is he he's gonna actually shoot as opposed to just stand there with a bewildered look?
When Darius gets an open three, and even when he doesn't have a three that's open, he hasn't shown much aversion to not shooting it.
Serious question though, when you hear him talk about going back and doing research on all of these guys that he's passing, the ones that he hasn't maybe seen play in person, but on these lists, what does that say about? You're not surprised to hear that, right? As much as a young man that he's just appreciative of everything, that he's doing his research on all these guys that he's breaking their records.
Yeah, Nick, I think it's uncommon, especially given their demographic. Like, this is an age group that they want the information really quickly and concisely. And the fact that he would go and do his own research on Liberty players of yesteryear, it shows his investment into our basketball family and this university. So I think it's exemplary of the kind of young man that he is and the example that he's set for the guys that are coming behind him. I don't know if we'll fully appreciate the impact that Darius has had until long after he's gone. He's really, he and others have really elevated this program, and I think we're experiencing some uncommon success because of that.
Did you ever envision having someone within your program touch the scoring record based on how much emphasis you put on the defensive end?
Is that another way of saying we play slowly?
No, more balanced, I would
Okay,
say.
balance, good word. Thanks, Dane. I was about to ban the question, but I'll answer it now. I don't really think of individual records, and it didn't take us long to realize, boy, he's pretty good. He may have already, I wasn't in for the press conference, but many of you have interviewed him before, and he may have alluded to the summer of his senior year. He was playing for Team Loaded, and I was at every game. I think he missed 19 of his first 22 threes. And, the summer recruiting circuit, all the coaches around, we sit by each other and we chop it up a little bit while the game's going on. And Darius had already verbally committed, and the comments that I got were, yeah, he's really quick. Or, yeah, he's hard to stay in front of. No one said anything about his shooting prowess. And I saw him be a little hesitant, so I called him in between the next events. I said, man, like, if you do that for me, if you stop shooting when you miss a couple, you are not gonna like me. And I think he shot about 60%, not because of me, but 60% the rest of the summer. And I think when you're around him on a daily basis and you watch him practice, you marvel at how accurate he is. Like, those shots that you see and applaud for or celebrate in your radio or TV calls, like, we see those every day. So you kind of get used to it. But don't get numb to it, because he's only got a few more games in a Liberty jersey, and he will sorely be missed.
A lot of these guys he's passed were the guy for, 3-4 years. He's only been the guy for 2 years. Does that say more to how much, and he alluded to this, how much he learned during his freshman year as maybe a guy who spreads the court, is that disruptor off the ball that has allowed him to see the game from a different perspective and be able to take?
Fair question, but I think it solely relates to Darius wants to win. And I think it speaks to who he is. Like, he doesn't care about how many he scores. Whether he was the guy or not the guy, he wants to win the game. And, I've had a nation's leading scorer before, Ruben Douglas at New Mexico my first year. And we were, I want to say 11 and 17. Darius is doing it with teams that are winning games 20 plus a year. So I think that lends more credible than anything, that it's not just someone scoring on a very average or below average team. It's someone that's scoring on a team that's contending. And to be able to do that, knowing that you're going to get the number one circle or scheme on the other team's scout, I think it speaks to his ability and his character.
You've seen a variety of different ways teams have tried to slow him down, the types of defenses they throw at you. How much do you feel like your team has grown in terms of the other guys kind of realizing the advantage that maybe they have, depending on the way people are focusing on Darius?
Yeah, I don't think our guys sweat it. I think, we've seen a number of combination. I apologize if it offended anyone when I call it a gimmick defense, but I don't know what else to call it, because it's a combination defense. And we've seen a few of those. And I think, look, we have Blake, Kyle, Shiloh, Darius. Those are three guys that have been in our program for 4 years or more and played a lot and been in a lot of big games. So, and then you have the maturity of Colin Porter, the selflessness and specialty in Zay and JV, and hopefully we get Zach back this week. I'm leaving somebody out. And Brody Peebles. So I think our experience will outlast that. But I think it again speaks to how much people respect Darius.
How impressed are you with your team to win on nights where maybe the normal formula for winning isn't working? If it's Darius maybe having an off night, or the other night you get one free throw, but you still score 70 plus points. Just when one thing's off, your team still finds a way to get it done.
Yeah, Nick, I haven't really thought about it like that. I mean this sincerely. I could care less by how many points we have more than the other team. I just want to have at least one more. So as the flow of the game goes, I'm not really worried about what's not working. I'm more, okay, what is? And I think, again, our guys have a grasp of where the points are coming from, or maybe where the matchup or the weakness may lie in a given possession, and they try and exploit it. So, again, I think it speaks to a mature team that has a selflessness about it, and you know, for all the attention that Darius gets, what I think gets lost is we have other good players, like we really do, and those guys just don't get the credit because I mean I don't think he made the second cut for the Wooden watch list, did he? Did that come out? I think they're down to 20. I didn't see his name, so. But he was a Wooden Award candidate. I think that's the first in our history. So, rightfully so, he gets a lot of attention, but we have other good players.
You got 2 games this weekend, one against a team you haven't played this year, and a team you played earlier this year. Both have good post players. What are the challenges you're going to face this weekend against Austin Peay and Lipscomb?
Yeah, Austin Peay is better than their record. I think the challenge will be, you know, anytime you're taking over a program, and Nate is a really good coach. Like when I was at UVA, he was on the Duke sideline, so I kind of know he knows basketball. And they've had a little bit of injury bug, some different lineups, but man, this league is good. And if you watch their games, they've been in every game, and they can beat you. So I think we'll have to have an appreciation and a gratitude for an opportunity, which our group has had. So I fully expect that to be the case on Thursday. And Lipscomb was different when they were here because Coach Acuff wasn't there. I'm sure he was on their players' hearts. He's a terrific man and a phenomenal coach. So and I think they've only lost once at home. I want to say it was overtime to Stetson. So, like I know what the Ken Palm says and all that, but you have to show up and play the game. And we have great respect for the teams and the coaches in this league. So, 2 more road tests that we'll have to take 40 minutes at a time. Is that good enough coach speak for you? Did you get that? Oh, yeah.
Did you like what you saw from Zay the other night, just easing him back in?
He didn't practice all week, so the fact that he wanted to play, I love that. And that's Isaiah Warfield for you, though. And again, I don't know if it'll be this weekend, but by next weekend, Zach will be, he's cleared to play now. I shouldn't say cleared to play. He's in his runway to play, and I think he'll get tested today or tomorrow. So hopefully we get him back, but if we don't, I think we'll have him back the next week.